captained by his uncle Tillman Watson. Governor Andrew Pickens saluted the new company from the terrace, and so did Mama's cousin Selden Tillman, the first volunteer from our old Edgefield district and its first casualty. Called to the top step to inspire his townsmen, the young cavalry officer used one crutch to wave the blue flag of the Confederacy. Hurrah, hurrah for Southern rights! Hurrah, hurrah for the bonny blue flag that flies the single star! Governor Pickens roared, "May the brave boys of Edgefield defend to the death the honor and glory of our beloved South Carolina, the first great sovereign state of the Confederacy to secede from the Yankee Union." And Cousin Selden, on some mad, contrary impulse, dared answer the governor's exhortation by crying out oddly in high tenor voice, "May the brave boys of Edgefield defend to their deaths our sovereign right to enslave the darker members of our human species." The cheering faltered, then died swiftly to a low, hard groan like an ill wind. Voices cat-called rudely in the autumn silence. Most citizens gave the wounded lieutenant the benefit of the doubt, concluding that he must have been dead drunk. He had fought bravely and endured a grievous wound, and he soon rode off to war again, half-mended. Clouds Creek. When the war was nearly at an end, and many slaves were escaping to the north, a runaway was slain by Overseer Claxton on my great-uncle's plantation at Clouds Creek. Word had passed the day before that Doc and Joseph were missing. At the racketing echo of shots from the creek bottoms, I yelped in dismay and dropped my hoe and lit out across the furrows toward the wood edge, trailing the moaning of the hounds down into swamp shadows and along wet black mud margins, dragged at by thorns and scratched by tentacles of old and evil trees. I saw Doc first. Dull, stubborn Doc, lashed to a tree. Then the overseer whipping back his hounds, then two of my great-uncles, tall and raw-boned on raw-boned black horses. The overseer's pony shifted in the shadows. Behind the boots and milling legs, the heavy hoof stamp and horse shivers, bit jangle and creak of leather, lay a lumped thing in earth-colored homespun. I was panting so hard that my wet eyes could scarcely make out the broken shoes. The legs hard twisted in the bloody pants. The queer, gray thing stuck out askew from beneath the chest. How could that thing be the limber hand that had offered nuts or berries, caught my mistossed balls, set young Master Edgar on his feet after a fall? All in a bunch. The fingers had contracted like the toes of a stunned bird, closing on nothing. At daybreak, Mr. Claxton on the lookout had seen a small smoke rising from a far corner of the swamp. His horse was saddled, and he did not wait for help, just loosed his hounds and rode on down there. The runaways had fled his dogs, obliging him to shoot and wound them both. That was his story. He was marching them home when this damned Joseph sagged down like a croaker sack, pissing his pants. "I told that other'n over yonder, shut up your damn moaning. Told him, stand that son bitch on his feet. I ain't got all day. Done my duty, Major, but it weren't no use." Major Tillman Watson and Elijah Jr. sat their horses, never once dismounted. My great-uncles chewed on Claxton's story. The dead boy's wet homespun was patched dark and stuck with dirt, and a faint piss stink mixed with dog smell and the sweet musk of horses. "Wet his damn pants," the overseer repeated to no one in particular, awaiting the judgment of those mounted men. He was a closed-face man, as hard as wire. "You have no business here," Great-uncle Elijah Jr. told me, not because night was coming on or because I was too young to witness this grim sight, but because I was certainly neglecting whichever chore